obviously taking into account that both countries, Iraq and Kuwait, are very good friends and are countries with which we are working very well. Finally, we heard about some initiatives on mediations or not, even from the UK side. It's very important to try to join the efforts in this direction. In Kuwait City, because as you know better than me, Kuwait has the presidency of the GCC this year. We are going to have, as European Union, at the beginning of October, the ministerial meeting EU-GCC. So all the ministers of foreign affairs of European member states and GCC member states will meet there. And in any case, any kind of facilitation, mediation for helping both sides to fix this issue and to revive the relations is very important. Because as I said, it's in any case a problem is if is affecting the Kuwaiti-Iraqi relations. But here, in my opinion, given the sense of solidarity that the rest of the GCC is showing towards Kuwait, it's clear that it's not only a bilateral issue, but it's becoming more and more a regional discussion.
Are these fringe voices that are acting as spoilers, or are you not giving them enough credit for their influence in the Iraqi state?
Look, the question I would have for the fringe voices is this agreement was signed in 2012, ratified in 2013 into a law by Parliament. There was a challenge in the Supreme Court in 2014 that rejected it. And then in 2023, for the second time there was a challenge, and the Supreme Court came up, the Federal Court came up with its ruling that the voting was not, the context was not challenged. However, the voting process that was challenged. What has changed from these 2 years? Nothing. In terms of why now suddenly it became such a national issue for Iraq, it is not. It is a group of people well known to us, well known to everyone, that they are basically getting plenty of screen time in the media. And it's always this kind of things happen. There are plenty of fringe voices in Kuwaiti side that make some horrendous statements and antagonize feelings in Iraq. Should we really consider those as being the statement by the Kuwaiti government, for example, or the Kuwaiti authority? No. We understand these are fringes, these are fringe voices. We will not, we will never make them as being the stance of Kuwait.
Now, those warm organic ties are also evident in many exchanges. I'm thinking here of the Gulf Cups that happened in Basra and in Kuwait in the last 2 years. But let me go to the unfortunate discourse that Farhad mentioned in both countries, demonizing the other. You see it in popular discourse, media, parliamentary statements. I must say it's more pronounced in Iraq, and Kuwait is constantly used to settle domestic scores in Iraq. And there is that belief that Kuwait is corrupting officials in Iraq, which is really unsubstantiated. There's no evidence to that. And on top of that was the statement that came in the ruling concerning questioning Kuwait's statehood by claiming that there are historical rights and so on. This is unsettling language. Now, I understand that we need to focus on the state-to-state ties, but I think the Iraqi state can rein in on some of these voices and communicate and market its vision within Iraq, as much as Kuwait should also clearly advocate and market its position vis-a-vis Iraq to its Kuwaiti stakeholders in the country.
This is a bilateral issue. It can be resolved. I mean, ideally bilaterally, obviously, but I do agree that some kind of third-party mechanism might be needed over time. And again, that comes back very much to Iraq's domestic challenges here, which I don't think that this government or the next government will be able to curb properly. And we see that across the board. The government has a position. It tries to enforce that position, but it's not only with this issue that it runs into issues domestically. These actors are very influential, and they do have the ability to put obstacles in the way that will have ramifications for Iraq's diplomatic relations to its neighboring countries.
you.